Imagine the moment just before the world wakes up. The air is cool, the road is empty, and a massive silhouette waits under a wash of soft streetlight. This is the 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser 400, and it doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't need to. Its presence alone feels ancient and futuristic at the same time, like a legend that has quietly learned new tricks. As you walk toward it, the exterior reveals itself slowly, deliberately. The proportions are commanding, tall, wide, unapologetically solid. But there's a new elegance in the way the surfaces flow. The body panels feel sculpted rather than stamped, with crisp edges that catch the light and smooth, planes that let it slide. Across the metal like water, the front end is bold yet restrained, with a grille that looks carved from confidence, flanked by lighting that feels precise and intelligent. At night, those LEDs don't just illuminate the road, they frame the Land Cruiser's identity, giving it a calm, unblinking gaze that feels ready for anything. There's weight in the way the doors open, not heaviness, authority. When you pull the handle, you feel a reassuring resistance followed by a solid, muted thud as the door swings wide. This is the sound of durability, of something built to last beyond trends and timelines. Step closer and you notice the details, the tight panel gaps, the subtle texture in the paint, the way the wheels sit perfectly planted, as if the ground itself has agreed to hold this machine in place. Sliding into the driver's seat feels like stepping into a command center, designed by people who understand long journeys. The interior wraps around you in a way that feels protective, almost comforting. Leather meets your hands, thick and cool at first, then warming quickly as you settle in. The stitching is precise, deliberate, almost meditative to look at. Every surface you touch feels intentional. Nothing flashy, nothing excessive, just quiet luxury that speaks through quality rather than noise. The cabin smells new but not artificial. There's a hint of leather, a trace of metal, and something else, something that feels like possibility. The dashboard stretches wide and clean, blending modern screens with physical controls that feel satisfying to use. Knobs turn with a smooth resistance. Buttons respond with a soft click that tells you they'll still feel this way years from now. The screens glow gently, crisp and clear, giving you information without overwhelming your senses. Sit back and look around, and you realize how much space there is, not just for people but for breath. The windshield feels panoramic, the pillars thoughtfully shaped so the outside world feels close, not boxed in. At night, ambient lighting traces subtle lines across the cabin, casting a warm glow that makes every drive feel personal, almost private. It's the kind of interior that makes you want to drive longer than planned, just to stay inside it a little more. Now imagine your hand resting on the steering wheel. It's thick, reassuring, and perfectly shaped, with just enough texture to remind you you're in control of something serious. You press the start button, and the Land Cruiser 400 comes alive, not with drama, but with confidence. The engine sound is deep and composed, a low, steady presence rather than an aggressive shout. You feel it more than you hear it. A subtle vibration through the seat and floor that tells you power is waiting, patient and ready. Pull onto the road and the size of the vehicle melts away almost instantly. The Land Cruiser moves with surprising grace, gliding forward smoothly, the suspension soaking up imperfections like they were never there. The steering feels solid and deliberate, giving you a clear sense of connection to the road without demanding constant attention. It's the kind of drive that makes you feel capable, composed, and completely at ease. Press the accelerator a little harder, and you feel the strength beneath you wake up. There's a surge, not sudden, not aggressive, but confident and controlled. The Land Cruiser doesn't rush, it advances. Merging onto the highway feels effortless, the engine maintaining a calm authority as speed builds smoothly. Wind noise stays distant, road noise fades into the background, and the cabin remains a quiet refuge, even as the world outside blurs past. But this is a Land Cruiser, and its soul has always lived beyond the pavement. Turn off the road and you feel the vehicle transform almost instinctively. The suspension adjusts, the traction systems quietly go to work, and suddenly uneven ground feels manageable, even inviting. You can sense the history in this moment, the generations of Land Cruisers that crossed deserts, climbed mountains, and carried people where maps ended. The 400 doesn't forget that legacy. It honors it, while adding refinement that makes the journey just as rewarding as the destination. There's a deep sense of trust that builds as you drive. Trust in the way it grips the surface beneath you, Trust in the way it responds to your inputs. Trust that it will keep going long after others would hesitate. And yet there's comfort too: heated seats, climate control that quietly perfects the cabin, and technology that supports you without stealing your attention. As the drive comes to an end and you park, you take a moment before opening the door. The engine settles into silence, the lights dim softly, and the Land Cruiser 400 rests still and composed. You realize how the experience made you feel. Not just impressed, but grounded, confident, ready. And then there's the price, which places the Land Cruiser 400 firmly in the premium world, but without arrogance. It feels like an investment rather than an indulgence. You're not just paying for luxury or technology. You're paying for a reputation built over decades, for engineering designed to endure, and for a vehicle that promises to be part of